Hello everyone, Mike the MC, bringing you the self-care video. Today will be a bit of a historical look at the Catechism. We're going to look at 195, this idea of the connection between the East and the West, and really how that split way back from the thousands when the East and the West split, how really, now that the faith has gone in those directions, are we separated from our brothers from across the world? And vice versa, are they looking back at us? Or really, are we evangelizing in our brokenness? Something to consider. So we'll look at the Nicene Creed with 195 here, and then I'll share with you further how being split really is not a negativity. It's not negative. There's really some good that can happen when we're split and help other people. Yes, we want to be with our loved ones, but we also have to remember we have to go out and evangelize and accept that you and I have to probably set some boundaries with each other in order to do good. So let me share with you further 195, and then I'll go into the topic. So 195 states the following. The Niceno-Constantinopolitan or Nicene Creed draws its great authority from the fact that it stems from the first two ecumenical councils in 325 and 381. It remains common to all the great churches of both East and West to this day. And so, East and West to this day, what does that mean? So there was a great split in the church of the East and the West in the thousands. And I'm trying to remember, I can't remember the exact year, but all I remember is that from that split, right, this is where I'm going to have to do some research to share with you. So the Catholic Church that people know of today with the Pope is the West. The East, right, Christian Orthodox, Russian, right, all the Eastern churches, okay. You think of, all right, so we have that split of that part of the faith, okay, of this religion. What about in other aspects? How can you draw this topic a little further, Mike, the MC? So here's the thing. So we have a split of a religion, of faith, okay. What about the splits and divisions of other things? Football, right? You have all these different divisions, different teams and different areas across the country. Okay, that's one example. Then what about across the world? The Olympics, right? Different countries. So you have all these divisions among the people across the world. But is that a negative or a positive? If you really think about it, going for the long shot of being with our Lord, I think there's something good about it in the sense that, okay, yes, we're divided across the world, but we are all still evangelizing, taking care of each other across it. And we're taking care with everybody with what resources we have, doing the good with them as best as possible. Share in the comments, what do you think? Is it good to be split or not split? But then you think about it just a little further. If we were all contained in that can, in that shell, in that household, okay, but we're feeling so much pressure, right? Something has to give. There's the pressure. And so you set boundaries with people. You want to have a boundary with somebody. Maybe that divorce was meant to protect you and your kids. See if you actually meant it for protection, not just for personal gain, but really to protect other people around you. And you think, okay, so boundaries are important. Let's keep that clear. Let's keep that in mind. So boundaries are good. Now, maybe when you split for a selfish reason, maybe not so well, maybe not so good. And so then, of course, you lose resources in the process. But if you have a good cause, a good mission in mind, you're trying to uplift it for a good cause. I think when you have to silence the crowd, the people around you, you cut out the noise and you're saying, okay, I got to focus on this. Yes, I love you, but I got to focus on this mission. Keep in mind, we have to do this in order to survive, to succeed, and to keep our businesses and our life going for the people we love. So share in the comments, what do you think? I think some boundaries are healthy, they're important, and we have to shut out the noise. This is just a great topic to dive further. Now, from the Catholic Nicene Creed perspective, to draw this out just a little further, so we have those two councils. Okay, the other part about this history lesson is Arianism, which was in the 300s, but prior to that as well, where it was trying to really divide the church for this belief between the root of our Lord. Okay, is he all man, all God, and from Mary, etc., and all these other debates with the Catholic perspective. But then you think of that debate and how, okay, Arianism really promoted this idea within the Catholic faith to make a strong defense. This will go later into 396. But with that strong defense, now that there's greater proofs to defend the faith, you consider, okay, with a great defense is a great offense. And now the Catholic perspective is able to defend its root just a little further because they went through the whole point of knowing their history and sharing the facts. And by sharing those facts, you have the idea now to defend the faith and connecting that with the boundary this idea of split between East and West. Now we at least know our history, and now we can defend whether it was right or wrong, but at least we know our history to debate. And so I think there's no one that's able to win from a split in that regard, but at least we know our history. And so share in the comments. I think this is a very interesting one that could be drawn out further. Maybe I'll do another video on this one, but this is a great one to discuss. So I hope this one finds you well with 195 of the Catechism. I'm going to share with you next on 196 and see how this kind of concludes this area of the East and the West just a little bit further. All right, everyone. Hope this video finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.